Packer football is brought to you by Toyota. I love what you do for me. See your Wisconsin Toyota dealers. Sitco. Feel the pride. The Wisconsin Perkins family restaurants and bakeries, serving breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between. Introducing football, the new instant scratch game from the Wisconsin Lottery, on sale now. Old Style and new Old Style Ice, pure brewed in God's country. G. Holloman Brewing, La Crosse, Wisconsin. And by Quick Trip, quality gasoline guaranteed.
It's been 20 years since the Packers and the Dolphins have met in preseason action. Tonight, that drought comes to an end as Green Bay hosts Miami in the 45th annual Midwest Shrine Game here at County Stadium in Milwaukee. Hello again, everyone. Bill Jarts, John Anderson, and Brian Noble back with you for week 2 of the preseason. And John, last week an impressive start for Green Bay, a 14-6 win over the Rams, but still plenty of work to be done.
That's why we have 4 preseason games, Bill. Give everybody a chance to get the kinks out. A new challenge tonight, but I think the coach would be appreciative of an effort like he had last week. The offense came right out of the box, took that opening kickoff down and scored. And if that can be duplicated tonight, I think he'd be very, very happy.
Kind of a strange twist, too. Last week, more yards rushing than passing. That's a new twist. Also tonight, a big test, Brian Noble, for the Green Bay defense, getting to Dan Marino.
Well, I'm very excited to see one of the top passing quarterbacks in the National Football League in Dan Marino. I don't know whether our secondary is as eager to see him as I am. I think he had a very formidable task. Our front four has definitely got to show themselves in this football game.
And no question about it, he's a tough guy to get to.
Well, they've got Richmond Webb and Keith Sims, 2 Pro Bowlers on the left side. Reggie White and some of those guys in the middle are definitely going to have to get to the quarterback in order to shore up our secondary.
It should be exciting. It all comes your way next year on the Packer Preseason Television Network. The Packers and the Dolphins from County Stadium.
U.S. Oil says thank you to the following companies for their support of the U.S. Oil Open for the Needy Children's Fund. U.S. Oil is proud of the success of the U.S. Oil Open golfing and fishing outings, and each year is pleasantly surprised by the increases in sponsorships, participation, and commitment to the event. Many sponsors have been involved since the first outing in 1986, and each year several new sponsors join in the cause. U.S. Oil is happy to host this very popular outing and thank all the sponsors. Those who joined U.S. Oil for the day of golfing or fishing, the many donations of cash, prizes, and other goods, services, time, and talent, which help to make this annual charity event an outstanding, successful fundraiser. U.S. Oil Company, Combined Locks, urges you to patronize these sponsors who demonstrate that helping others is par for the course.
This is Baker Fitness. Treadmills, exercise bikes, stair climbers, rowers, multi-stations, weightlifting equipment. Baker Fitness has Wisconsin's largest selection of quality exercise equipment for people of all ages. Visit the experts at Baker Fitness today, just for the health of it. Baker Fitness, now open at 1175 West Hill Boulevard, Appleton.
Okay, which car has the highest estimated mileage?
Toyota Tercel.
Nope.
Ford Aspire?
Well, closer. Geo Metro XFI.
Wow. But Tercel and Aspire have stuff like independent strut suspension and carpeting.
So does Metro.
And intermittent wipers.
So does Metro. Plus power door locks.
It does?
Mm-hmm. For almost $1,000 less than Aspire and $1,700 less than Tercel.
And I can get a Metro
at your Chevy Geo super dealers. You know they all negotiate their own prices.
I knew that. I did.
We're in Milwaukee. It feels like Miami here at County Stadium. 83 degrees, humidity at 70% at the kickoff here. Winds gusting up to 20 miles an hour out of the west, and chance of rain all evening long. One of the big concerns about the ballgame tonight, gentlemen, was the condition of the field after the big concert. John?
And from indications in the pregame, it looks in great shape. I was down there walking around. It is dry. We've had a lot of weather, wet weather this past week, but that seems to have had no effect. And even the concert, there's a few spots here and there but the concert that was just held a couple of days ago really hasn't disrupted the surface at all. So if we can avoid the rains here that are predicted to come towards the end of this game, I think this track will be in good shape.
And Green Bay's won the toss, so we'll take a look at our referees right there. Kind of a newcomer here tonight. Refereeing his first game is Milwaukee's Bill Carollo.
You've won the toss. You're going to receive.
Ken Rutgers right away says, we'll take that football, put Brett Favre in the offense on the ball right away.
Well, I think it's fantastic that our offense is going to open the game again. As in last week's game, Brett Favre came out and led the offense down on a 12-play drive and put the ball in the end zone. I think they're going to try that same thing tonight. And again, we've got that change in the rules change here with a placement of the ball on the 35 or on the 30-yard line. I'll tell you what, our kickoff team is #1 in the National Football League last year. Where they bring this ball back will definitely put our offense in good field position.
Dirk Borgoni will kick it off for Miami. Back deep to receive for the Packers is Anthony Morgan and Corey Harris. It's a gorgeous night for football. We want to welcome you across the state as we get set for Game 2 of the Packers preseason. Miami haven't played 2 games already. They're 2-0. The Packers are 1-0 going into the Midwest Shrine game, which is underway from County Stadium. It's Harris at the 3. Good special teams play down there by the Dolphins. Gets it up near the 20-yard line on the stop. It's number 31, Sean Hill. A 17-yard return for Corey Harris. And let's set that Green Bay offense we just told you about. Brett Favre, of course, at quarterback. The wide receivers will be Ron Lewis and Ron Brooks. The running backs, Reggie Cobb and Edgar Bennett. They'll be operating behind this offensive line. Rutgers, McIntyre, Winters, Galbraith, and Sims. The tight end, of course, the aging Eddie West. Aging, but looking ever so good so far this preseason.
Should be a great opportunity for the fans to see 2 great quarterbacks tonight. Brett Favre, of course, and Dan Marino. He'll play probably at least a quarter. 2 of the best in the business out here tonight.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as he shifts Reggie Cobb over to the right side. A 3-wide out look for Brett Favre. Straight to the middle. There's West. We just talked about him in a 1st down up to the 35-yard line, and he's had an impressive preseason so far, a 15-yard gain for Ed West, Brian.
And again, I'm surprised that Mike Holmgren comes out again this week passing the ball. We expect him to work on the running game, but again, he opens up with a passing. Ed West right over the middle. I think both the linebackers separated. And Ed West is an easy guy to forget, but every time he comes up, he's coming up with yardage when he catches the ball.
And Brian, isn't that classic toolbox, the short yard pass, and turn it into about a 15-yard gain, 1st down for the Packers.
From the 35. Let's try the running play this time. Cobb spins forward for 2 yards. And let's check that defense for Miami. It's Cross, Gaines starting in place of Bowens. That's a story we'll develop as evening goes. Klingbeil and Marco Coleman at the other end. The linebackers are Singleton, Hollier, and Brian Cox. Cox, of course, somewhat controversial. Smith and Stewart, along with Atkins and J.B. Brown. The young man we're not going to see tonight, matter of fact, did not even make the trip, is Troy Vincent.
And that's unfortunate. He's still recovering from that knee injury, but for safety's sake, they want to keep him out of these preseason games until he's absolutely 100% healthy.
2nd and 8 from the 37, just underway from County Stadium. 5, hooks up with Brooks through the middle. 1st down again.
Well, the Packers seem to be having success here throwing the football. They're going to mix in those runs, but I think Mike Holmgren is content to throw the ball.
9-yard pickup for Brooks right here. Favre again looking right and looks the guy off and finds him open through the middle, John.
And nice to come back to Brooks as a secondary receiver. Didn't like what he saw when he looked to his right, came back, knew exactly where Robert Brooks was going to be, and Robert and Brett really need to develop that relationship if Robert's going to be that number 2 receiver this year.
Another fresh set of downs from the 46. Go the Green Bay Packers. Favre unloads it deep, and wisely again out of bounds. And last week at this time, he was 5 for 5, throws that one away, and gets a standing ovation down at Camp Randall.
I think Brett's doing an excellent job here. We have a blitz coming from the outside. Brett picks it up and gets rid of the ball, and he throws it someplace that's important that nobody else can catch it but his own guys. And I think he's doing a great job of doing that, getting rid of the ball.
Speaking of Brooks, and he's really looking to be the complement to Sterling Sharp. This week, John, Sterling Sharp practiced a little bit.
Very good sign for the Packers. He didn't put on the pads or really take part in a lot of the practice, but he was out there running routes, and that is good enough news in itself.
Cobb straight ahead to midfield. 4 yards in the pickup for Reggie Cobb. His 2nd carry of the night. That's 2 for 6 yards right now for Reggie Cobb.
Well, I think people, Brian, are trying to get a feel of Reggie Cobb. They'd like to see something a little bit of a spark. He didn't have a great day last week, but it wasn't probably all his fault. The offensive line, as we've mentioned a week ago, still trying to come together. But important for Reggie Cobb to kind of make a statement, kind of make a play or two that shows some sizzle, some dazzle out there, and gets the fans behind him, because we are expecting, let's face it, let's be honest, we are expecting big things out of Reggie Cobb this year.
Coach Holmgren said before the game, just keep the rain out of here. So far, his prayers have been answered. Third down for Green Bay. Flares it out to Edgar Bennett, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Good defensive play out there by the Dolphins. Frankie Smith, who's starting in place of Troy Vincent. And we'll get our first look at the Green Bay punting team. Craig Hendrick on to do the punting chores early on here. Mike Pryor will be his blocking back. And back deep to receive it now for the Dolphins is O.J. McDuffie. Boy, what a year he had a year ago as a return man for Miami. Their special teams coached by Mike Westhoff. I'll bring up his name only because he was my offensive line coach in college. And if he can put up with me for 2 years, he deserves a mention on the broadcast.
You drove him into special teams? Is that what you're trying to say?
I got him out of college football. He maintains his sanity somehow. 4th and 2 from the 46, and Hendrick, who's been quite honestly impressive, I think, so far this preseason. McDuffie signals for the fair catch and gets it at the 16-yard line. A 30-yard punt for Craig Hendrick, and the Dolphins will take over, and it should be Dan Marino at quarterback when we come back from County Stadium. 11:29 to go. First quarter of play, still no score.
What would you do if you bonded with the new Quick Card?
Premium quality gasoline.
Free coffee. And soft drink refills.
No annual fee.
Really low milk and bread prices.
I can use it someplace I go all the time.
I could win a new car if I applied for it.
I'd like cash back at the end of the year.
The new Quick Card. It's a bonding kind of thing.
You want this card.
It began in the heartland, in towns small and large. By building on the success of local independent businesses, this once little company has quietly grown surprisingly big. In fact, today it serves you at over 12,500 convenient locations. More than any other company of any kind in America. Citgo. Feel the pride.
Who's behind the best family food value in town? Perkins. For breakfast, dinner, and everything in between. Perkins, breakfast, dinner, and everything in between.
Well, Brett Favre had his chance, and not a whole lot of luck the first go-round, and there we get a little look at Dan Marino. And boy, what a quarterback he is. Both of you guys had a chance to play against this guy. What makes him so special?
I think what makes him so tough to defeat is his release. He's got the quickest release in the game, has had for years. As a defensive lineman or a linebacker rushing, you can get close, but very seldom can you get to him because when he's ready to throw, it's just out in a split second.
Only 16 sacks against the Dolphins quarterbacks a year ago. Credit that offensive line. 2 Pro Bowlers, as Brian mentioned earlier on. Let's check it out. 1st and 10 now from the 16-yard line. They'll try the ground this time. And it's Keith Byers on the carry.
Well, this is a play that I talked to Bob Valicente, linebackers coach, earlier today about. Go ahead with the starting lineups.
Let's set him up here, Brian. It's Fryer, Kirby, Marino, Byers, and Ingram. The line that we just talked about it. Richmond Webb, Ken Sims, the 2 Pro Bowlers, Jeff Dellenbach from Wausau East High School, Wiedner, Heller, and the tight end is Keith Jackson. And Roland Mitchell being attended to by Pepper Burris and Dr. Pat McKenzie over there. And boy, there's a guy they're really counting on. It's really surprised people since he came here to Green Bay a few years ago.
Just been steady and very, very solid. We'll take a look at the Packers defensive lineups here. White, Yurkovich, McMichael, and Jones. We've mentioned them before, and you're going to hear a lot from them this year. At the linebacker position, Wayne Simmons, Bryce Popp is inside, and George Kuntz. And then the DBs, a good bunch of DBs, Buckley, Butler, Teague, and Mitchell, although Mitchell now being helped to the sideline. Let's hope that this isn't anything serious.
Now, who's going to come in right now? It looks like Corey Harris and Buckley will be the defensive corners. Interesting, last week against the Rams, Terrell Buckley, the leading tackler for the Packer defense.
That was one of those stats that kind of snuck up on you. You didn't realize it until after the game, and you look at the press sheet.
2nd and 6 from the 20 for Dan Marino. Again, Byers straight through the middle, not a whole lot doing against that Green Bay defense. They got a few questions to answer there with the return of Marino. More importantly, they need to get him some playing time, Brian.
Yeah, I think the important thing for them to do right now is they're trying to not let Dan try to think he's going to have to do too much too soon. They do have outstanding running backs with Keith Byers back there and the fullbacks. They have a power game. They do. They have a great offensive line, and if they can establish the run, it just opens that much more up to Dan Marino's passing game.
Marino, of course, coming off an Achilles injury early last season. 4 wide receivers now for Marino. He operates from his shotgun. He is extremely difficult to get to from the shotgun position. He's got a rocket, and he connects for the first down. On the reception, number 81 is O.J. McDuffie, and he has a first down. McDuffie, a special teams player, but let's look at this play one more time.
When Dan Marino rears back, look at the arm release here, the quick release, and that ball is coming, and it's coming hard. These receivers have to have great hands, because talking to Mike Holmgren, these balls are not touch passes. These balls are coming, like you mentioned, Bill, rockets, and they're there. The great reception by O.J. McDuffie, and he's getting the first down.
Coach Holmgren yesterday said that man has the fastest release, and when it's cocked, when he actually releases the ball, it is so fast, and that's what makes him tough defending it. Byers, again, the workhorse, straight through the middle. Picks up a couple of yards there, straight through the middle. That's his 3rd carry of the evening so far for number 41, the former Ohio State star. 3 carries, and it looks like he totals 10 yards already this evening here. And he's a load, too, boy.
He is a load. Probably more well-known for his pass receiving abilities. I think he's the only running back in the league to catch a pass in 100 consecutive games. He's at 103 right now. He'll be utilized a lot coming out of the backfield. He's got great hands for a big guy.
Boy, and their other running back last year, Terry Kirby, 75 catches. Just incredible what they get out of their running backs. 2nd and 6 now from the 32. No score with 9 minutes to go. Marino, there's the rocket. Ooh. Missed his target there. Corey Harris on the defense for Green Bay. Intended for number 80. That's Irving Fryer, the veteran from New England. Boy, he's been around a while.
They have some outstanding wide receivers. Irving Fryer and Mark Ingram. These guys are experienced, talented wide receivers. I think here we might have had a little miscommunication as to what route was going to be run, and the ball's misfired behind the receiver. But these guys are making catches. Irving Fryer going into his 11th season. These guys have put up some phenomenal numbers.
A Pro Bowl player a year ago for the 2nd time in his career. Of course, he spent the majority of it with New England. 3rd and 6. Here comes the heat. Marino connects. Buckley on the defense. The reception that is goes to number 87, Mike Williams.
I probably shouldn't say this, but that is a thing of beauty out there. Just on timing, he's throwing the ball before that receiver has really even made his cut, and it's just a matter of being a good quarterback and having a receiver, having confidence at receiver that he's going to run the right route and run it at the right depth. Terrell Buckley again getting in there on the tackle. Nice to see that from T-Buck.
Confidence, perhaps. Early on, they were saying that the guy just doesn't hit. He's not a good tackler.
I think it's an attitude. Tackling to me isn't about hitting a sled and practicing. It's about an attitude about saying, I'm going to get this guy down. It doesn't matter how. I'm going to put my shoulder pads into him.
Good point, John. 1st and 10 from the 42, 8:09 to go, and it's the other back, Kirby, this time. Barrels straight ahead to the 44-yard line.
I think it's important that they don't lull the Packer defense to sleep here. Last week, Marino put up a 78-yard touchdown bomb, and they've got that capability. They've got some guys who can go wide. Brian mentioned a couple of guys on the outside who have great receiving abilities and good speed. And while they're plugging along here in the middle, don't let the DBs fall asleep and get complacent, because they can score on you like that from just about any part in the field.
Marino, 28 pages in the Dolphins media guide. This part of that media guide is thicker than my hometown's telephone book. Marino, again, complete. 82 there in the reception is Mark Ingram, the veteran receiver, 8th-year man from Michigan State.
This is kind of scary. What we're seeing happening here is Dan Marino's effective ability to just throw the ball where the ball has to be placed. And the one thing that's scary is you look at our front four, they look perplexed out there. They're not getting any pressure on the passer. They're not getting any hands up in his face. and they're looking around to see how can we get to this guy. As John had mentioned, it's a 3-step drop, and the ball's coming out.
Dolphins, you see it on the third down conversion right there, the statistic. And here it comes, 3rd and 1 from the 49. 7:09 to go, first quarter, still scoreless. Give it to Kirby. Kirby cuts it back and darts ahead for the first down. So they'll reset the chains. Kirby, the young man, second-year man, former third-round pick from Virginia. As we said, spent a couple of years down there at Virginia. Really great hand for a running back.
Yeah, it looked like Jurkovic had a shot at him here. He's probably being held there a little bit, but had his man around the legs. But Kirby, with good second effort there, enough to pick up that first down.
Coming up to the 10th play of the drive as Marino has him clicking here. Having started back at his own 16-yard line, they're now at the Green Bay 47, 1st and 10. Good time. Look at that rocket. Straight through the middle to Irving Fryer.
This has to be somewhat of a concern for the Green Bay Packers. Dan Marino's ability to sit in the pocket, look down the field, and a guy's wide open. He puts the ball again where it has to be placed. But again, look at Dan sitting in the pocket. No pressure. He's got the ability to step up and throw the ball. He's putting the ball. Great catch by Irving Fryer right there.
17 yards on the pickup. It was close to being a one-hopper. There's Sean Jones. He's going to try to put some heat on him. Working against a Pro Bowl tackle in Richmond West. 1st and 10 from the 29. Straight through, big running room for Kirby. Down to the 20-yard line goes Kirby. Down there to bring him down, George Teague and Leroy Butler.
Going back in Terry Kirby's career, we've got back in high school, it's kind of unique. He was Parade All-American National Player of the Year and USA Today Player of the Year for the entire high school, coming out of high school. And here's his ability. He got a great block by Keith Byers. And look at the hole. He cuts back into a hole where there's nobody at. Just, it's got to be perplexing to our defense to allow the offense to move down the field like this.
2nd and 1 now from the 20-yard line. Give it to Byers. Boy runs into a wall there. That is very frustrating for a defense, is it not, to be in a situation where you're going right down the field, John, and they just keep pecking away and pecking away and pecking away.
Well, especially when you know a guy like Marino, everything they talk to you about is he's going to throw the football. And so what does Miami do? They have thrown the ball, and they've been successful doing that. But they've also enjoyed nice success here early in the game, running Byers primarily either up the middle or to the left-hand side of that offense.
Definitely a left-handed team with those two Pro Bowl guard and tackle over there. 3rd and 1 now from the 20. 4:25 to go. Still no score. Marino at the controls for Miami. Kirby straight ahead. Runs into a wall there in the middle. Steve McMichael, boy, he was playing last week, I think, in the 4th quarter, wasn't he? They didn't want to get him off the field. I think you're going to have to take his shoulder pads off, maybe hide him, otherwise he'll be playing all year long.
Well, you got Don Shula. You don't even need to talk about the man, the winningest coach in NFL history. 327 career wins last year. What he'll do this year, and he signed a new contract that'll take him through 1996, and then if he still believes he wants to coach, he can continue to coach or move up in the office.
I had a chance to visit with Coach Mike Holmgren as they get the first down, and he said, more than likely, John, there'll never be a coach do what Don Shula has done in the National Football League again.
Well, for the simple fact that there probably will not be a coach that stays with the same franchise or as long as Coach Shula has. Of course, he was with the Colts early in his career and with the Dolphins, I believe, for the last 25 years now, and you just don't see that too much in professional sports anymore.
We'll develop that idea more as we go along. Marino having converted now 4 of 4 on 3rd down opportunities. 1st and 10 now from the 19. Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter of the 45th annual Midway Shrine game from County Stadium. The gun comes out, connects once again, and he's lugging along to Keith Jackson. His big tight end barrels down near the 10-yard line.
Well, I think Keith Jackson is a gentleman who last year we had a somewhat disappointing season after coming over there as one of the free agents last year, and this year they're expecting some great things. He is a Pro Bowl tight end, and they're expecting great things from him this year. Last year a little nagged by injuries, but this year they hope he comes out with a big year for him. They're going to need it.
Pretty good hog collar there by George Coons, John.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to run a little bit of a pick there and had some success. Keith Jackson, as Brian said, is truly one of the best pass-receiving tight ends I think the league has ever seen.
5 different receivers now have caught passes from Dan Marino. 2nd and 2 from the 11. Lofts it in the air. Intended for Ingram. Touchdown. Mark Ingram working over Terrell Buckley. They connect on an 11-yard touchdown pass. Miami's on the board first with 2:58 to go.
Just a tremendous throw and catch. That's all timing, and that's all working together. And you saw the master at work that time. Terrell had his back to the quarterback. Didn't really know when the ball was coming, but you can't blame a defensive back. Basically, there's a little separation. You don't want to see quite that much separation that time, but you cannot turn in that situation because you don't want to lose the sight of the receiver by turning back to the quarterback too soon.
And the Dolphins opt to go for 2 points right here. First time we've seen that so far this preseason. Not a whole lot of success for it throughout the National Football League. Let's check it out here. Kirby, the lone setback. Marino, this time a both. 2-point conversion is good. And it's Ingram, I believe, one more time. He gets all 8 of them this time for Miami. Is Marino to Ingram, a popular combination. They connect and take an 8-0 lead over Green Bay with 2:58 to go in the first quarter of play here at County Stadium. Watch it again, gentlemen.
And I think Terrell Buckley thought it was going to be an in route. He bit a little bit early. Oh, here's the touchdown. Okay, we'll take a look at this, and maybe we can come back and show that 2-point conversion in just a few moments.
A lot of little touches go into every new Plymouth Neon. A very powerful 132 horsepower engine, a spacious cab-forward interior, dual airbags, and a special Plymouth Neon chip-resistant finish. And oh, there's one more thing. Appeal. Say hello to Plymouth Neon. $94.75 for starters, $13,000 nicely equipped. Highly huggable, low price at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Around here, folks believe in making things last. Relationships, neighborhoods, and the family automobile. And who wouldn't want to see that 100,000-mile mark? So it's no wonder so many rely on their neighborhood 76 station. Here you'll find quality gasolines and services to help keep your car humming along. We can't promise you'll see that 100,000-mile mark, but we're glad to help you try. 76. Go with the spirit.
This is my baby. I like to tune her myself because then I know the job's done right. People who know that ask my advice on taking care of their cars, and I give them 2 names, Mills Fleet Farm and Fram. Fleet Farm has a huge selection of quality Fram products, oil and air filters, PCV valves, transmission and fuel filters, and they're always priced right, so you don't have to wait for a sale. So treat your baby right. Use quality Fram products from Mills Fleet Farm.
Packer preseason football is brought to you in part by Verhalen Incorporated, the Pella Window Store, and Ameritech. We're designed around you, your link to better communication.
Marino and Mark Ingram, a popular combination. They score the touchdown and get the 2-point conversion as well, John.
And Ingram really made a hard fake to the inside that Terrell went for. You saw him out of position that time, and it's got to be a little more difficult than that. The first time the Packers up against a 2-point conversion, and not very, very successful.
Bogoni kicking things off to Anthony Morgan and Corey Harris. Harris, a deep kick taken at the 1. Again, good special teams coverage on the part of the Miami Dolphins. A 19-yard return and number 31 there to bring him down first for Miami was Sean Hill, a cornerback, a rookie out of Montana State. So we'll take a break with the Dolphins leading the Packers 8-0, 2:50 to go first quarter.
The game is football. Question is, are each of you prepared to play? Because if you're going to play this game, you have to scratch your way to winning. 4 quarters. If your total score beats theirs, you win. Okay, let's do it.
Introducing Football, the new instant scratch game with 2 games on each ticket and a top prize of $1,000. It's from the Wisconsin Lottery, and it's on sale now.
Come on, you gotta want it. Scratch!
Now's the time to get a Corolla.
If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, cause it's going fast.
Toyota Corolla. Lease one now for as little as $179 a month.
If you want it, anytime I can give it.
The wait is over. Toyota's clearance is on now. Don't miss your chance to get the Corolla deal you want. There's only one Toyota clearance a year. Toyota's nationwide clearance. See your Toyota dealer now.
Old style ice? Oh, yeah. It's gotta be 95 degrees out there. Think she'll be out there soon? Oh, yeah. She'll be out there. She's the sun goddess. Yeah. You might want to turn over. Really? It's just my back burns so easy. Okay.
All right, Ruffin Hamilton caught the eye of the coach last week. A couple of big plays, particularly on a screenplay. Let's see what he does here in special teams, Brian.
Well, I think this Mike Holmgren had mentioned some players that need to step up and make some plays. And here, Ruffin Hamilton, if he wants to play in the National Football League, I think he's going to have to do a little bit better job than this. He's looking to get somebody and just kind of watches the play happen, and that's not going to get it done. One of those lookout blocks on a kickoff return.
Assistant center, please.
So Favre steps up now. First and 10 from the 19-yard line. Marino, look at that scoring drive. 15 plays, 84 yards, 8:31 off the clock. He went to Ingram twice. Once for the touchdown, the second time for 2-point conversion. And here's Favre, going to try the airway. Plenty of time. Jumps it off now. And again, it's Eddie West, the veteran tight end. Oh, he's really tough to deal with down around the goal line. Very effective around the goal line. And when they go Ed West now, when they go to him in these short yardage situations, he seems to be very effective.
And people probably aren't keen on him a great deal. They're talking about Sterling when he comes back and some of the wide outs. And, of course, you got to watch the backs in Mike Holmgren's offense. So the tight end, perhaps Ed West, not getting the respect he should have based upon his production thus far in the preseason.
Edgar Bennett, the lone running back, on 2nd and 1 from the 28. He gets the call. Tries the right side. First down, Green Bay.
There's a kid. I'm very high on Edgar Bennett. I think the guy loves to play the game of football. He signed a new contract this year, and the guy can play either fullback or tailback. He's bouncing around. He's got the speed to get around the corner, lowers the shoulder, gets that first down. He knows where the yardage markers are at. You know, I think we got to credit Ed West here. I don't know if we can catch him here. There he is at the top of your screen. He's occupying that big defensive end just long enough to allow Edgar to get around the corner. And a very unheralded job. You don't get a lot of mentions in the paper and TV the night after a game because of that blocking, but that's what Ed West can bring to this squad.
He just did. First and 10 from the 30. 1:28 to go for the Pack. Dump across the middle, and it's Edgar Bennett again up near the 38-yard line. Klingbeil there to bring him down for Miami. Just an update on Roland Mitchell. He is okay. They are keeping him out for a while as a precaution. Let's look at that play again.
Well, Edgar Bennett has the ability to both run and catch, and Mr. Controversy here, Brian Cox, doesn't take a liking to what Ed West is doing downfield. He's just trying to get downfield to make a block, and he kind of stirs things up a little bit. He's not afraid to speak his mind.
You know what, John? He's got a lawsuit against the NFL right now?
Apparently he has got a lawsuit against the NFL for the incident last year in Buffalo where he was fined, and he said it was basically a reaction to a racial slur that was yelled at him. He is suing the NFL for playing in a racially hostile environment. So he's not looking for any dollars. He wants to just make a point with this suit, and time will tell what happens with this lawsuit.
Reggie Cobb for a 6-yard gain and an impressive run here, Brian.
I got to tell you, you watch Guy McIntyre. This is what this guy came to this football team for. He just knocks this kid right out of the picture. That's why he's been to the Pro Bowl for so many years. He came to this club. He brings leadership. He brings the ability to move people. Watch. Booyah! Woo-hoo! I mean, that's called a flat backer right there. That man is going, where are these stars coming from?
Yeah, he better hope the sun is down or he's going to be blinded for a while right now. That's what Holmgren wants out of his guards. He wants to be able to run with those people as we wind down the second two in the first quarter. We'll talk about that when we come back from this commercial timeout. We played 15 minutes in the 45th annual Midwest Shrine game. Miami in front of Green Bay 8-0. Coming back with the second quarter after this.
This is what I look like when I'm having fun. This is what I look like when I'm serious. And this is one serious offer. So listen up.
It's closeout time, and the Truck Authority's got low 2.9% financing or $750 cash back on Ford F-150, the #1 selling truck in America. But only during clearance time, and only at your Packerland Ford dealer, the Truck Authority.
And remember, have some fun.
You are confused about them. It's true, they're offering you savings to Hong Kong. You don't know anyone in Hong Kong. They want you to sign up your family and friends. You'd rather let your family and friends call you.
Uncle Bob.
It's cheaper. They want you to sign up the person you call most.
Joey the Pizza King here.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
How about some features you do want? Services you can use. We offer things they don't. We're Ameritech. Call us at 1-800-AROUND-YOU.
Hello, Ameritech? I want a phone in my bathroom.
Okay.
Ameritech. Designed around you.
Everyone has something for 99 cents, but we're here to challenge them all with Hardee's Double Cheeseburger.
This is a burger.
Or Junior Chicken Filet Sandwich.
Boneless breast of chicken. That's the key.
For only 99 cents.
What? You're kidding me.
Beat that.
McDonald's does not have a chicken filet sandwich for 99 cents.
Hardee's 99-cent Double Cheeseburger and Junior Chicken Filet Sandwich.
This is 99 cents. The Double Cheeseburger. This is also 99 cents.
All part of Hardee's Everyday Choice Value.
That's such a great deal. I had to find out if it was for real. Oh, I made it rhyme.
Fishing for great sports coverage you can depend on?
Catch me in the Action 2 Sports Team. It's how we cover sports that makes a difference for you. And welcome back to County Stadium. We talked about those guards on the move, and here comes Guy McIntyre, Brian.
I tell you, look at this. Head down, underneath, and that man is getting airtime right there. Michael Jordan airtime. Both Guy McIntyre and Harry Galbraith have that ability to pull, get speed, come around the corner, get underneath people, and go with it.
Green Bay Packers have not beaten Shula coach team since '72. I'll tell you what, I think there are 7 teams now that have yet to beat this man. Just an incredible record. Here's 5, looking deep through the middle for a run. Brooks, and Brooks is down inside the 20-yard line. Stewart, the man who was just beaten there, Brooks in a big play. Michael Stewart on the defense, and it's 41 yards for Brooks.
Well, I think what you're going to see here is the Miami Dolphins choose the blitz, and Guy McIntyre with another big play picks up the blitzer coming around the backside, leaves Robert Brooks running across the middle. Brett Favre just delivers the ball, and I'll tell you, with his speed, he's going to be a hard man to catch.
Michael Stewart, a busy guy out there tonight. First he gets decked on the run play, and now he's chasing Robert Brooks across the field. This from a guy who was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers back in 1984 of all things.
First and 10 from the 13 after the big play by Brooks. Favre again going to take it up top. Looking for now his third option, and wisely throws it away. The closest guy there, Reggie Cobb, and again, listen to the crowd.
Maturity, I'm telling you, Brett Favre's decision-making process has grown immensely, and Mike Holman has got to be a happy man. Brett Favre, rather than trying to make something happen, there's nothing there. Ball's down the field, out of play. Take what this offense can give you, because I tell you, with this offense, if you don't make a mistake, it can go a long way.
First quarter stats right there. Well, we want to thank the good folks there. Bill Charts, Brian Noble, John Anderson back with you once again here from County Stadium as Mike Holmgren looks on. Got to be happy with how things are going here in the second series. Favre so far tonight, 6 of 7 for 86 yards, operating in that somewhat scuffed up part of the field right there. Cobb gets the carry, and number 79 there to bring him down is Larry Webster, the third-year man from Maryland. I think Cobb said last week, we were talking to him in the locker room after the game, John, and he was saying he's the kind of guy that needs to get those carries. The question is, John, can he get those carries he says he needs in this offense?
Well, I think he can. I think they'd like to get him the ball roughly 18, 20, 22 times a game, but that's got to be earned as well. They're not just going to give him the ball if he doesn't show that he has the capability of picking up the yards. Thus far, it's been kind of tough sledding for both he and that offensive line in the running games as far as that's concerned.
Larry Webster a year ago kind of nicked up, only played in about 11 games. 3rd and 8 now from the 11. Through the middle to the toolbox. Inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, and he felt a little smack himself. Even the referee, the umpire down there took a wallop as well.
Well, I'm glad to see somebody's getting hit out there. Eddie West is a great player. He continues to produce for this football team. He gets the ball and doesn't see the defensive back coming here. And these defensive backs have the ability to strike a blow, and Eddie just found that out, and so did the referee.
The umpire right there takes
down he goes.
Ouch. And on comes Chris Jackie to try a 24-yard field goal. Pentridge will hold. Jackie puts it up. And, of course, it's good. From this range, he's deadly. From just about anywhere on the field, this guy is deadly. So Green Bay comes up and puts 3 on the board. 8-3 now, 13:26 to go from Milwaukee.
SLE, you are cleared to land.
Not all the excitement is in the air at the EAA. Right now, your GMC truck professionals are offering special down-to-earth prices on the trucks driven at the fly-in. These vehicles have low mileage but can't be sold as new, so you save. Also priced to fly is our entire fleet of 1994 GMC trucks, backed by the strength of experience. We're clearing them out to make space for the fast-approaching 95s. So drop into your local GMC truck professional dealer, where the sky's the limit.
Algoma Motors, Colin Sorrentino, Fox Valley Truck, Petrosky, Neville Motors, Bergstrom, Van de High Brantmeyer, Holiday. Or see your nearest GMC truck professional.
You have clearance to take off.
Because this is the land and sky for GMC.
This is a serious commitment.
I know, Dad.
Well, what about the others?
They don't compare.
There's more to consider than just beauty.
I know.
There's inner qualities like warmth and strength.
I know.
And you'll have stormy days, too.
I've thought about all that, Dad.
Well, for 30 years, your mother and I have loved our Pella windows, and I know you'll be happy with yours.
Thanks, Dad.
Open in Green Bay Monday through Friday until 7 p.m.
Welcome back to County Stadium. Chris Jackie having tacked things on, completing a 9-play, 74-yard drive, 23 yards on the field goal for Chris Jackie. Some penetration there from the right side. Look at those numbers a year ago. Long of 54 yards. This guy's just an incredible kicker, and it's going to be Irving spikes back deep, and Mike Williams back deep now to receive the kick here. Chris Jackie has things teed up from the 30-yard line again. Brian told you a little bit about those rules changes in our pregame show today. We want to invite you to tune that in each week before, 1/2 hour before kickoff. From the 5. That's Mike Williams, who had a big game last week. And he's up across the 40-yard line to about the 44-yard line. A 39-yard return for Mike Williams, who hauled down the big touchdown a week ago. Victor Brown there on the stop for the Packs. And we'll take a break one more time. It's 8-3 Miami over the Pack. 13:15 to go, second quarter.
Who's behind the best family food value in town? Perkins. For breakfast, dinner, and everything in between. Perkins, breakfast, dinner, and everything in between.
It began in the heartland, in towns small and large. By building on the success of local independent businesses, this once little company has quietly grown surprisingly big. In fact, today it serves you at over 12,500 convenient locations. More than any other company of any kind in America. Citgo, feel the pride.
The game is football. Question is, are each of you prepared to play? Because if you're going to play this game, you have to scratch your way to winning. 4 quarters. If your total score beats theirs, you win. Okay, let's do it.
Introducing football, the new instant scratch game with 2 games on each ticket and a top prize of $1,000. It's from the Wisconsin Lottery, and it's on sale now.
Come on, you gotta want it. Scratch!
Coach Holmgren says those kickouts can be scary, and here's why. Mike Williams, 39 yards on the return, gentlemen.
Well, anytime you go up against a Don Shula coach team, you know they're going to be sound fundamentally from a penalty standpoint, and their special teams are going to excel. And you just saw a situation there where he just found a crack. He found an opening in between a couple of the Packers running down underneath that kickoff, and that's all you're going to have to do to create a seam and allow that return man to bring it up there to the 45-yard line.
A new quarterback, Bernie Kosar, will detail his history in just a moment. He set the running backs for him, too. Straight through, not a whole lot doing right there. It's Irving Spikes in the carry. Kosar, well, you talk about a great passer. I think only like 2.52% of his passes have been intercepted. Just an incredibly accurate passer.
I think, again, Bernie Kosar, having played against him, he is very similar to that in Dan Marino. The ball comes out very quick. He's very intelligent in his decisions. He doesn't throw balls. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. He throws balls where they need to be thrown.
2 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 8 now from the 46. 12:40 to go. Second quarter of play. Through the middle, the ball was batted around and almost intercepted there.
Well, that's what I think our defense needs to come up with some plays. It's one thing, if you look at our first half of play to this point, we've had no big plays by our defense, and they need to do that. A great pick there by Steve McMichael to allow John Yurkovic to get around and put pressure in his face, and quarterback Bernie Kosar just threw the ball, and Sean Jones almost came up with an INT.
So did Ron Heller. Ron Heller almost had a reception there for a minute, I guess. What about Kosar, though, John? Last year, he got dropped from Cleveland, kind of a dead-end situation. He goes to Dallas.
Wins the Super Bowl.
Not bad.
Not a bad deal, huh? Now he's got to come back here, and he feels like they've got another chance to make it to that big dance. And one of the reasons he came here was just for that. The other reason, of course, he's got a home in Miami, and he feels very comfortable playing at home.
Kosar rifles it out here complete to Fryer at the 45-yard line, right at the first down marker. And for Miami, he's got to be right at home here, John.
Well, he certainly is. And somebody defensively here has got to make a play. Nobody really has stepped up. Nobody really has done anything of note defensively tonight. They drove on them the first series and scored. Now it looks like they're doing much the same right at this point.
First down, my statistician Tom Rizzo says. Riz, of course, does a little refereeing on the side, so let's see, and he's right. Let's check it out. Did he have them both in? Lenny McGill over there on the coverage for the Packs. Let's check out Marino's numbers before we bid him adieu. 6 of 7, 60 yards, 1 touchdown.
Looks pretty close. You got to believe the referee is right there where he should be, and had a pretty good look at it.
Kind of an interesting stance, so under center right. His own leg is cocked a little bit.
Very similar to that of Dan Marino. Gets him out of there a lot faster.
Kosar clears it out, incomplete. Intended for number 81 over there. That's O.J. McDuffie.
He came up a little limp on there. I think he slipped. His feet came out from underneath him, and the ball was there, but McDuffie just actually slipped down and couldn't come out of the break for the ball.
Generally, gentlemen, what's it like playing on this field with the infield? Brian, you first.
Well, I always enjoyed playing here. We have an unbelievable record down here. We seem to always play better down here. But when you're playing on a baseball field, it's not. I fell a couple times in that in the infield in there, and it's not a pleasant thing to have that grit and grind in your teeth.
John, we'll get your comments here in just a minute after the 2nd and 10 play from the 46. Draw play. Irving Spikes gets the call. Good defensive play out there by our man Buckley once again.
And he came up, and you get in that situation as a cornerback, you are all that's left out there. Terrell that time came up and went low as you should with a big running back. Credit him. Let's take another look. You're going to see him at the left-hand side of your screen. I think it's Wayne Simmons kind of forces it out there, and Terrell comes up, gets his head down, and brings the ball carrier down. Talking about County Stadium, though, I always enjoyed playing here. I know County Stadium has taken a few hits because it's not a great football field. It's got the infield. It's got a lot of obstructed view seats. But it also has a little throwback. It's not the dome. It's not the sterile environment. And I think for that reason, I've always enjoyed playing here, and maybe that's one of the reasons the Packers have, too.
3rd and 7 now. The Packers looking for their first third-down conversion. Excuse me, this is Miami's Kosar here. The Packers incomplete, and again, it's Buckley on the defense.
Having a busy night thus far, and kind of a mixed bag. He gave up that touchdown on the 2-point conversion, but otherwise he's come back and played pretty well.
And the crowd's responding to him as well, Brian.
I think Terrell Buckley has really matured this year. We're talking to Terrell. He's put everything behind him. He's out here to play for himself and his teammates. He really feels confident in his own abilities now. So when he comes up and makes these plays, I think it's just adding to his confidence. He's going to continue to grow and continue to get better, and that's what he's striving for.
Jim Arnold, the former Lions punter, now on for Miami. Well, they used to have a good one at Reggie Roby, and last year they struggled with Hatcher. Arnold floats it up, gets a fair catch. That's Mike Fryer there to set up the Green Bay offense. 30 yards on the punt, 11-11 to go. Second quarter of play, the Dolphins out in front, 8-3 when we come back.
Here's the Chevy S-Series in color. Here it is in black and white. The new Chevy S-Series. Everything else is history.
Everyone has something for 99 cents, but we're here to challenge them all with Hardee's Double Cheeseburger.
This is a burger.
Or Junior Chicken Filet Sandwich.
Boneless, breast of chicken. That's the key.
For only 99 cents.
What? You're kidding me.
Beat that.
McDonald's does not have a chicken fillet sandwich for 99 cents.
Hardee's 99-cent double cheeseburger and junior chicken fillet sandwich.
This is 99 cents. The double cheeseburger. This is also 99 cents.
All part of Hardee's everyday choice value.
That's such a great deal. I had to find out if it was for real. Oh, I made it rhyme.
In this throwaway, disposable world, it's nice to find things that last. Relationships, neighborhoods, and the businesses in them. Like your neighborhood 76 station. For years, folks have relied on 76 for quality gasolines to help keep their engines clean and running smooth. Nothing lasts forever, but we think a long, long time would be nice. 76. Go with the spirit.
Hi, I'm Bill Jart.
And I'm Brian Noble.
Join us from the premiere of Game Day Live.
6:30 Friday, August 19th on WGBA Fox 26.
Did you say Fox? That's what it says.
As per the game plan, Brett Favre done now for the evening. Mark Brunell checking things out with Coach Holmgren and Steve Mariucci.
And this is one of the more interesting battles, I think, of all preseason. Who's going to be that number 2 guy? Last week, both a little bit of subpar performances out of both backup quarterbacks. Tonight, a whole new different story. Mark will have the benefit of the number 1 offensive line in there right now. However, all the other positions have changed, though, offensively.
The backfield is McNabb and Cobb. 1st and 10 from the 13. Brunell airs it out, first time out. Penalty marker is down on the play. Anthony Morgan on the reception over there. Stewart on the coverage for Miami, but let's check the penalty.
I think it's a great play by Mark.
No infraction on the play. 2nd down.
His first day out, first time as a referee. He's normally, I believe, a back judge. Today they said you're a referee.
You got to enjoy that. He's getting an opportunity, and well, who can blame him for not calling a penalty when he gets scared? Heard that microphone, and I kind of choke up a little bit every now and again too. But a great play by Mark Brunell. First play out of the box, and he's throwing the ball downfield for a 10-yard gain.
Hey, looking at those referees, there's some talk that perhaps they might go on strike.
And we don't want to hear that in this town, I'll tell you that. There's enough animosity about that word strike, but the NFL referees are talking that might be a possibility here. Apparently their pension is not what they would like, and so there's talk that they may walk if things don't get rectified.
Morgan and Duncan, the wideouts now. The tight end is Jeff Wilner. Little drop play to Dexter McNabb. Had a pretty good game last week, our player of the game. Not much running room right there, however.
Speaking of that, I stepped out of the booth for 1 minute, and you guys voted without, I didn't even get a say.
See what happens when you go to the bathroom? You'll learn the tricks, won't you, John?
Well, definitely, yeah.
Brunell in his 2nd year from Washington. They called him a steal a year ago in a 5th round.
I'll tell you, Mark Brunell, a lot of people, you look at him and the comparisons to Steve Young. Naturally, he's left-handed, but the man he's got a 4.6 speed. He's incredibly strong for a quarterback. He's dedicated, he's intelligent, and look for big things from this man.
We had a big game last year in this Midwest Shrine game against the Chiefs. Came out in the 2nd half. 12 of 24, 139 yards and 2 TDs. Another penalty marker as he hooks up with McNabb, and McNabb just barrels ahead for the first down. It could be offsides against Miami.
And that's a free one for the Packers. I think they were coming with a blitz again. The Dolphins were, and one of their DBs got a little anxious. Packers wisely went ahead and picked up the first down.
Well, Dexter McNabb continues to impress people. I think it's important for him. He's being pushed by a young fella, Dorsey Levens.
Offside defense. Number 51. Penalty is declined. First down.
And again, Dexter McNabb is being pushed by Dorsey Levens. They expect big things from Dorsey Levens. And in order for Dexter McNabb to maintain his position on this football team, he has to perform the way he is last week, MVP of our game, and today excelling, making big plays, and running the ball extremely well.
1st and 10 from the 37.
Well, somebody's whistle got stuck. Swallowed their whistle.
Bell dumps it off to Cobb. Cobb gathers himself, and now has a whole bunch of room as another penalty marker is down. 3 plays in a row. Reggie Cobb for the first down. Well, let's check it out again.
Well, usually when a flag goes at that part of the field on a passing play, I got some bad news. It's generally holding.
Let's see if we can pick it up here, John and Brian.
Well, look for the official to throw it in the middle there. Let's just keep your eye on him. There he sees something that he doesn't like, and it looks like this one's coming back.
Frank Winters, perhaps?
Yeah, I think he kind of you try to use that old slingshot technique here.
Holding. 52 offense. 10-yard penalty. We play down.
A lot easier to see him up here, though, Brian. I got to be honest with you.
Well, when it happens right in front of the referee's face, they generally have to make that call. And Frankie's been playing really well. They call him the Iron Man last year. I know he played every position, played every game, all the way through preseason and all. And now he's expected to step up. He's the one of the main cogs in that offensive line to continue to progress and protect Brett Favre.
First penalty of the ball game right now, a 10-yarder against the Pack. Brunell 2 of 2 so far for 23 yards. Marcus Wilson and McNabb in the backfield for Green Bay. Here's Brunell again to take it up top. Flares it out here. Marcus Wilson slips almost one tackler, gets up across the 31-yard line. On the stop there is number 35, excuse me, Michael Stewart. Let's check it again here, gentlemen.
It was simply a flare-out. Really, Wilson was one of the last options, but Mark decided to go that way. Right now, though, you've got to put some sizzle into your move. You've got to put some shake and bake on that DB. Offensive players never want to be brought down by one defensive player. Conversely, I know the defensive players are always coached that in a one-on-one situation, you've got to make the play. But you get a halfback out there in the open field, you want to see some shake and bake and make some people miss.
Marcus getting some playing time while LaShawn Johnson struggles with that hamstring injury. Brunell rolling left, a natural roll for him, and he gets it out, complete to Wilner, close to the first down, going to come up just a bit short, I think.
There's somebody else that has to step up. They're expecting some things from Wilner, the tight end. A great play fake by Mark Brunell. Gets around in there again. A left-handed quarterback. The roll comes the other direction, fools the defense, and oof, that was a close play. You don't know who he's throwing that to.
And good concentration here on the part of Wilner to get that ball, because it was deflected ever so slightly, or at least slightly, flashed as if it may have been tipped, and I think it was.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it was tipped. Good concentration, as you mentioned. That's a position that's open right now. That number 3 tight end. They're looking for a guy who can make a play, and Jeff Wilner did a nice job on that particular play.
Pretty big kid, too, 6'5", 250. He can block it. Here they come. Straight to the middle and a first down.
That's what you like to see, is our offense having the ability to run the ball right up the gut. Marcus Wilson makes a great cut back against the grain and gets the first down.
The first third down conversion there for the Packers for Marcus Wilson, and he's going to get some playing time, and he looks like he wants some playing time, John.
Well, he did a fine job last year when given the opportunity. You see Dexter McNabb coming up with a nice block there. And he's one of those guys that just, you can't overlook him. He's always doing something on special teams. He's picking up a first down right there. Nothing fast or flashy, but very solid, very consistent.
Jake Kearney is checked in now for Green Bay. Coach Holmgren says he wants to take it up deep. They're going to try it deep with Kearney in there. Not on this play, however, as Dexter McNabb gets in. And look out, hang on to the football, and a late flag from deep. A second flag. It's going to be against Miami.
We've got another flag up on the top up there, and that's probably holding against them also. But there you go, Dexter McNabb doing some impressive things right there. Coming down across the field, and I'll tell you, at 255, I'd say 250.
Face mask, 5 yards only. Forced man to run, first down.
And Dexter just, a great move to set him up, and then, oof. That's a scary one where you twist the head back around like that. But Dexter, a load at 255 pounds, is running people over.
You guys both play defense. How much does that happen out there? How do you prevent that? How many people go for the mask?
Very few, Bill. I think most of the time that happens, it's incidental. Very seldom do you see a guy just reach out and grab a face mask, because it's not only a dangerous play, it can hurt your fingers by doing that. And a lot of times you're just grabbing for anything, whether it's a jersey, an arm. And a lot of times that face mask just gets in the way.
Brunell, 5 of 5 so far, 51 yards. He has first and 10 at the 36. Checking out to his secondary now, third receiver, and now he'll pull it. He had an interesting statistic after a 2-yard pickup there. We talked to Steve Mariucci. This was before last week's first preseason game, Brian, and you were there, and he said at that point in time, he had completed 91% of his passes. Incredible in practice.
Yeah, both he and Ty have been having excellent practices, but Mark in particular is making the right decisions. He's throwing the ball where the ball needs to be thrown, and it's that decision-making process that they're looking for in that number 2 quarterback.
And there's Steve Mariucci again down on the sidelines offering some words of encouragement along with Coach Holmgren. As his coach said last week, he says when the quarterbacks come off, he's kind of scowling, and Steve is there sort of put his arm around him. Of course, on touchdown passes, they're both happy. 2nd and 7 from the 33, 6.5 minutes to go as Marcus Wilson runs into a wall and loses. Oh, let's call it 4 yards. Coleman there, Marco Coleman on the stop.
That was an ugly-looking play, but really there was nothing the Packers could do. They were coming with a blitz off the backside, and they basically just tracked it down. There's nothing much you can do to avert that. The defensive coordinator there just had the right call on, and Marcus Wilson had nowhere to go.
Well, we said Michael Stewart's name again. When it was bad, let's say when it's good. It was a nice defensive play by him, a good defensive call by their defensive man across the way there for for Miami. Olimadati is there. The 10th play of the drive coming up here with 5:48 to go. Second quarter of play, the Dolphins leading at 8-3. Brunell. Intended for Curtis Duncan. Coverage over there by number 29, Frankie Smith. Pass overthrown.
Well, I think Mark had a little bit of pressure put on him right there by the defense, and again, making probably the best decision. I don't think he could have got the first down anyhow, but throwing the ball with pressure in his face only where the ball can be caught, and rather than trying to force the ball in there.
Hendrick will do the punting once again. McDuffie back deep to receive it. He's standing at about the 10-yard line right now. Hendrick looking for the corner. There's Victor Brown down there again trying to stop it, and this time a touchback. Made a big play on it last week. Coach Holmgren singled him out for making a fine job on special teams. That was a 40-yard punt for Hendrick, and it's 8-3. Still the Dolphins over the Packers.
Now's the time to get a Camry.
If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, cause it's going.
Toyota Camry at a low $249 monthly lease you can't miss.
If you want it, anytime I can give it.
The wait is over. Toyota's clearance is on now. Don't miss your chance to get the Camry deal you want. There's only one Toyota clearance a year. Toyota's nationwide clearance. See your Toyota dealer now.
Nature's Touch milk. It's only natural, and it's only a Quick Trip.
The game is football. Question is, are each of you prepared to play? Because if you're going to play this game, you have to scratch your way to winning. 4 quarters. If your total score beats theirs, you win. Okay, let's do it.
Introducing Football, the new instant scratch game with 2 games on each ticket and a top prize of $1,000. It's from the Wisconsin Lottery, and it's on sale now.
Come on, you gotta want it. Scratch!
Boy, what a coach he's been through the years. He's the only team ever to go through a season undefeated back in '72.
Well, I'll tell you something interesting about Don Shula. You know the only Packer coach to ever beat him? Vince Lombardi.
Really?
Vince was 6-4 against him, and everybody else, Forrest Gregg, 3-0, Cindy Infante, 0-3, I should say. Bill Bankston, 0-2. It goes back.
Gilbert Brown, one of the guys Coach Holmgren singled out here, 93 for the Green Bay defense. Coach calls him a low. It's 1st and 10 now for Bernie Kosar and company from the 19-yard line. Let's call it the 20-yard line. Kosar clears it out. Nice little spin move over there for a 1st down. Number 87 there on the reception for the Dolphins is Mike Williams, who caught that big 78-yarder from Marino last week.
We'll take a look at Gilbert Brown inside. He had a nice game last week. This time he's getting double teamed, and boy, when that happens, you just want to get as much push as you can. But realistically, you're not expected to make much of a contribution towards getting to that quarterback. Being double teamed here. Watch Evans here. He lowers his head, and that's where he gets in trouble. You cannot lower your head when you're coming up to make a tackle like that.
Ruffin Hamilton finishes things off. 1st down. Oh! Big running room. Straight through the middle up to the 40-yard line. The carry went to Irving Spikes, number 40.
Well, we just had our focus on Gilbert Brown, and again, he was tackled in the backfield here. He drove the center right back into the backfield and was literally tackled. I don't know how he didn't get the holding call, but that's what happens when something like that takes place, where a holding call is not detected. It opened a hole wide enough for that running back to get on through there.
Brown, a former draft choice of the Minnesota Vikings, now 2nd and 3 from the 41. Not a real smooth-looking play there for Miami. Gabe Wilkins did some penetration for James Saxon on the ball carry. James Willis playing tonight for the first time. Boy, they could really use this kid.
Well, I think James Willis is a kid that I played with last year. Unfortunately, he got stuck with an anterior cruciate ligament, and he's playing well. They're expecting some good things. Here he got stuck up. You know, you match up against that's Houston Hoover from the Atlanta Falcons, and he's over 330 pounds, and you've got to be able to hit and separate, and that's one thing that James is still just working himself back into the condition that he was in last year before the injury. They're expecting big things from him.
And that injury took place right here in this field against the Minnesota Vikings. 3rd and 1 now from the 43. First down. Spikes again on the ball carry for Miami.
Well, this little guy here, Spikes, last year in college, he was the 4th leading rusher in the nation, averaging over 150 yards a game. And again, Gilbert Brown in the backfield, but he's a little spark plug, and he runs right through an arm tackle. He has the ability to make this football team, even with the depth at running back that they have with Keith Byers and some of the other gentlemen.
The Dolphins 6 of 7 on 3rd down conversion so far. Kozar this evening 2 of 5 for 23 yards. We get a good look at Timmy House. This is a little guy playing a big guy's game, doing a great job of it. 1st and 10 from the 46. Kozar feeling the heat, and there goes Ruffin Hamilton.
Well, like a week ago, he made a play in the 4th quarter that made people stand up and get off their seats. Tonight, he does the same thing. Not a great athletic play here. You happen to be in the right place at the right time, but he does what you have to do. You wrap up. He gets his hands around Kozar. He's not going to let him get out or even throw the ball down the field. Makes a big play for the Packer defense.
Well, I think that's, John, you hit it right on the money. That's what this defense needs, is somebody to make a big play, to get excited, get things going again. And there you have it, the first big play for the defense at this point.
Yeah, this crowd is really kind of just sitting back tonight. I think they're waiting for somebody to make something happen.
They need Noble down there in the field raising his arms. 2nd and 20 now from the 36. We're nearing the 2-minute warning. Kozar screens it off. 22 there is James Sexton, and Sexton with all kinds of running room near midfield. You know, let's talk about that for a minute, Brian, as we get down after a 16-yard pickup there by Sexton. The emotion, you played such a big role in that through the last 10 years.
Yeah, John just said that's all I ever did was raise my arms up in the air. Well, I'll tell you what.
Boy, did you get the publicity for it.
Posters and everything.
Hey, I'll tell you, to me, emotion is a large part of this game. Everybody has the ability to play this game, but when you play it with that emotion, with that intensity, everybody seems to come up around you and get involved. It really it brings the adrenaline going, and everybody likes to play.
And we're excited up here in the booth. We're going to have to break away, though. 2-minute warning. The Dolphins in front, 8-3 when we come back.
Automobile Magazine looked at these remarkable cars and promptly declared Chrysler the hottest car company in America. The heat continues with Chrysler Plymouth's hottest clearance. Get a great low price and up to $1,000 in option package values on Plymouth Voyager and Grand Voyager. Plus, get $500 cash back. Even save on the luxurious Town & Country. Chrysler Plymouth's hottest clearance from America's hottest car dealers. Each dealership negotiates its own price.
This is my baby. I like to tune her myself because then I know the job's done right. People who know that ask my advice on taking care of their cars, and I give them 2 names, Mills Fleet Farm and Fram. Fleet Farm has a huge selection of quality Fram products, oil and air filters, PCV valves, transmission and fuel filters, and they're always priced right, so you don't have to wait for a sale. So treat your baby right. Use quality Fram products from Mills Fleet Farm.
Pontiac presents Closeout Time and the 94 Pontiac Transport. It's loaded with safety features like anti-lock brakes and driver's side airbag. And now Pontiac Transport is available with power sliding door. America buys Pontiac Transport, and why not? It comes with $500 cash back. When you want great performance, you want Pontiac Transport. Closeout priced with $500 cash back. It's a real showstopper.
See your Northeast Wisconsin Pontiac Performance dealer.
Let me take you behind the scenes for all the right moves. Join me for the Mike Holmgren Show Monday night at 6:30 on TV2.
And welcome back to County Stadium, the 2-minute warning. And so far, Green Bay not at all happy with that rushing statistic. Compare that to a week ago.
Exactly, 150 yards they had rushing a week ago. This week, they're doing a little bit better in the passing attack, 143 yards. So sort of a reverse situation from what we saw in Camp Randall Stadium.
The Dolphins with Bernie Kosar at the controls, leading 8-3 with 2 minutes to go here at County Stadium. The rain has held off so far. Gabe Wilkins jumped into the zone, but no call there. And here goes Kozar. Now fires it away. Intended for number 81, O.J. McDuffie, but incomplete.
That's one thing I don't think you have to worry about Bernie Kozar doing is scrambling. He's not exactly the fastest human being in the world, but he's making some good decisions here. A terrible, horrible snap. Bernie does a great job of recovering, but this is one thing you don't want to see Bernie Kozar doing is scrambling, and he rifles the ball, and it's almost uncatchable.
All right, Kozar saves the day here to bring on Jim Arnold for the punt, and back deep you hear the crowd coming to life. That's Terrell Buckley. T-Buck from the 11. And it's going to bounce into the end zone, touchback. The Packers will get the ball. It was a 49-yard punt for Jim Arnold, the former Lion. 1:45 to go. We'll be back in a minute.
It began in the heartland, in towns small and large. By building on the success of local independent businesses, this once little company has quietly grown surprisingly big. In fact, today it serves you at over 12,500 convenient locations. More than any other company of any kind in America. Citgo. Feel the pride.
Hey, right now, if you call 1-800-68-BUCKS, yeah, right there, we'll send you a free Old Style Territory catalog. Then when you save the UPC symbols off any Old Style products, you can get fun things like pizzas, dartboards, and whoa, look at this, whoa, gas grills. And when your friends discover you have all that, there's only one more thing you'll need, my friend. That's right, more beer. Get it in there. Yeah.
Know the worst part about training camp? I can't get to All Cars preseason sale.
The preseason clearance sale at All Car. Time to get your car or truck in shape. Fram oil filters just 2 for $5. Autolite Power Seal spark plug wire sets, $5 off. Autolite copper spark plugs, just 79 cents after rebate. All Car's preseason clearance sale.
Your call.
For price, service, and selection, it's all here at All Car.
Well, some fans enjoying the evening here, and it's a dandy one, too. The rain's held off. Those hard hats that get right off the construction site made it to the game here. Mark Brunell at quarterback for the Packers, operating behind the second offensive line of Paul Hutchins, Ed King, Jamie Dukes, Mirko Jurkovic, and Earl Dotson. And there's some beef out there at the tackles, guys.
There certainly is, and we may get a chance to see the Packers' 2-minute drill here if they can perhaps pick up a few more yards out of their end zone here.
First and 10 from the 20. A screen to Marcus Wilson, and one of the linebackers over there in a hurry, Brian Cox, to bring him down.
We've got a penalty flag down here, something of interest. This might be a little bit of taunting by number 51, I think. A very good possibility. I think it's a great read by the gentleman, but at the same time, I think the NFL is going to crack down on this type of activity here. Calling for a face mask.
Cox in his 4th year as we hear our referee.
Face mask, 5 yards, number 51. First down.
Second time we've had that call tonight. Cox in his 4th year, former 5th-round pick out of Western Illinois. Their leading tackler a year ago. Went to the Pro Bowl in '92.
And that's a tough call. I mean, he made a sensational play and setting up a second and long, and now they basically negate it. It's 1st and 10 again.
1:37 to go. Miami with an 8-3 lead as Marcus Wilson goes in motion. Brunell complete through the middle. Curtis Duncan. Duncan across the 35-yard line. A first down for the Packers. On the tackle there for the Dolphins, number 35, Michael Stewart, after a 16-yard pickup as we move things in a hurry. Timeout is being called on the field. One of the Packers appears to be injured down there. Pepper Burris quickly out there to attend to things. Can't tell who that is at this point in time. Let's look at the play again. Nice play, though, to Curtis Duncan, John.
And it looked like a little of the old run and shoot here. He catches the ball underneath and weaves his way through a couple of defenders for a nice pickup here. Curtis Duncan, one of those guys who could see considerable action, I think, at wide receiver, especially as the 3rd wide receiver or perhaps the 4th wide out in their nickel package.
Curtis Duncan might have the opportunity to play against a second cousin on the other team, Ronnie Woolfolk, second cousin of Curtis Duncan. kind of interesting thing. Can you imagine playing against one of your relatives, John?
Pepper Burris is the gentleman facing us. We see Pat McKenzie, Dr. Pat McKenzie, the team's orthopedic surgeon, and this looks like Kurt Fielding as well, Brian.
Yeah, you know, that medical staff, I'll tell you, that last year, you talk about going through some trauma, everybody, you know, the fact of James Campen, Mark D'Onofrio, Brian Noble, Johnny Holland, a tremendous amount of injuries last year. They are one of the best medical staffs, in my opinion, in the NFL. Well, you see that he got caught under the leg is what it was. His leg, the younger guy came, or the underneath guy came underneath and caught his leg on the ground as he jumped over the top, and that's, you know, you see the limp. They check the knee, and that's the scary thing when the shoulders. You'll see the leg whip around right there. Oh, it's something you believe me, you just don't want to see on the replays. It's
wow, that one hurts. First and 10 from the 37, 1:21 to go. Dorsey Levens in at the running back slot. Complete once again, Curtis Duncan. He lowers his shoulder and gets up near the 40-yard line. The clock will continue to roll. Brian, how many surgeries did you finally end up having on that knee?
Well, I'm not even done yet, but I had 9 since September, so it's and I got a road to go yet.
A minute to go. Brunell straight through the middle to Dorsey Levens. Up and squirts ahead near the first down marker. Nice little play right there to get a couple of yards. It's going to be short by maybe a half yard.
He's hit the 2 for special yet, Brian? Have they, these next surgeries are going to be free because of the previous ones that you've been in there for?
Maintenance work. Come in for 9, the 10th one's free. Brunell. Good time. Looking for Levens and just didn't time it up well with 38 seconds to go.
He was running the route according to the playbook that time. He wasn't a football player in that play. He went out, he stopped, he checked, he looked around for the guy he was supposed to block, but he forgot to turn around and look for the ball. Let's take a look at it here. See him at the top side here. He's going to run out. He's looking for his guy. Just got to get the head around a little bit quicker, Dorsey.
Dorsey's a scary name around here. To play with a guy named Dorsey.
How's he doing now, Brian? He's on the scouting staff, isn't he?
Yeah, John's working in the scouting staff, doing a great job. From what I understand, he enjoys it, and I could say he's part of this, you know, franchise that's making it a better football team.
Hendricks gets the punt away. McDuffie back deep to receive it at the 15. Calls for the fair catch, and Victor Brown comes in and tags him, and we know what the call will be there. 39 yards in the punt. But what was Victor Brown thinking, John?
Well, a lot of times you're tied up with the defensive back that you're fighting to beat to get down there, and you don't see the call for the fair catch, and so he has already done that. But, you know, Victor Brown, well, it did look like he did see it, so maybe he just kind of lost things out there. Rookies have a tendency to do that.
Yeah, it's rookie jitters there. I think he lost his mind. I don't know why you'd do something, you know, that's unexcusable. It's
unnecessary roughness. 26 on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I think that penalty kind of explains itself. Unnecessary. That's something you gotta be able to use your head on a play like that. And as John mentioned, he came around the corner, and it was pretty evident he was calling for a fair catch. I'm sure Nolan Cromwell's in his ear right now on the sidelines.
When you sense that he realized what he had done as soon as he made contact, too, and that hurts. You're out there in front of 50,000 folks, and you know you just made a major blunder.
Well, he gets some playing time. He made a couple of big plays last week, and as we mentioned with our meeting with Coach Holmgren yesterday, he is one of the players they're keeping an eye on.
On the 31.
As we see Brett Favre across the way with his baseball hat on, the $19 million man.
You think he's going back in yet? He looks pretty relaxed over there, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's not a lot of tension in his face right there. 31 seconds to go. The Dolphins with a 5-point lead. Kozar, the pocket collapses, but he ducks it. Look at that, slow underhanded pitch. Terry Kirby.
Open your eyes, Corey Harris. He's going to get you.
And you saw that coming from a mile away. The DB, or the offensive wideout, was just looking up Corey Harris. I don't know if we're going to have it on the screen here. It'll happen on the upper left-hand portion of the screen. If it does, Corey Harris in position, tracking him down. There's a wideout who says, I'm in position too.
Open your eyes, Corey. You got to see that. Your head, I'm telling you, on the football field, you got to have your head on a swivel all the time.
2nd and 5 from the 36. Looks like it could be part of a Chuck Norris movie there with 22 seconds to go in the first half. Kozar going to take it deep through the middle. Wide open. Complete. complete to number 82, Mark Ingram, the young man who called the, hauled in the touchdown pass and the two-point conversion, and we get a timeout call down here on the field. Kind of interesting to see him back in there. Kozar is going to check things out.
Well, I think something of interest here, Gabe Wilkins had a very nice play getting up the field, putting some pressure on the quarterback. I think he's done that 2 or 3 times now on this drive, having an impact here. And that's what you have to do as a young rookie, is make something happen, and especially now.
You're also dying to say something about Matt LaBounty. I know that. Let's watch Gabe Wilkins here first.
I'm curious at his absence of mentioning it, but great move there. And that's on a Pro Bowl player. Keith Sims is still in the game, and that's a young fellow. I think he mentioned something about playing and learning from Reggie White and Sean Jones. Going through practice and stuff, he says he doesn't like to ask a lot of questions because, he's watching these guys and he's learning. But at the same time, he says, when you're asking a guy like Reggie White or Sean Jones a question, you know you're getting the right answer.
Gardner Webb produced Gabe Wilkins.
Did they recruit you, Billy?
No.
John, where is Gardner
Webb? Today's trivia question, if you know the answer, call 800. No, just kidding you. 12 seconds to go. From the 48-yard line, 1st and 10 for Kozar. Everybody stays in to protect those knees. Kozar looks beat. Intended for Fryer on the coverage there, number 22, Lenny McGill. 7 seconds to go left in the first half of play. On an absolutely beautiful night, it's starting to cool down just a little bit as Don Shula looks on. And boy, you think about that, you really hit it right on the head, right? Think about that. He coached against Vince Lombardi.
That tells you how long he's been around.
And an interesting point that you raised yesterday, too. He doesn't get real close to his players. Perhaps that's the reason why he sticks around?
Well, I think talking with Mike, I think that's something that you've got to... I mean, he distances himself from the players, so there's no emotion involved in it.
what is he now, 64 years old? 64 years old, Don Shula. This could be the final play of the first half. Kozar wide open. Irving Fryer there gets his feet down. Oh, and he stopped the clock with 2 ticks left to go. Are we going to see a long field goal, perhaps?
I believe we will. Stoyanovich is about as accurate as Chris Jackie. Just a great play that time by Irving Fryer. They know what they've got to do. They've got to get it down in time or close enough for field goal position, yet they've got to get out of bounds to stop that clock, and they did it to perfection on that play.
Stoyanovich, the second most accurate kicker in league history, 79.62% of his field goals. And as you mentioned, he is a great kicker from long distances. And this will be a long one as well. Tom Rizzo is going to tell me it's going to be 38 yards. 48, excuse me, a 48-yard field goal. And Stoyanovich does it from 48 to end the first half of play. So, all in all, some long drives, not a whole lot of possessions. I think only 4 on the part of each team. Miami with an 11-3 lead over the Pack at halftime.
The game is football. Question is, are each of you prepared to play? Because if you're going to play this game, you have to scratch your way to winning. 4 quarters. If your total score beats theirs, you win. Okay, let's do it.
Introducing Football, the new instant scratch game with 2 games on each ticket and a top prize of $1,000. It's from the Wisconsin Lottery, and it's on sale now.
Come on, you gotta want it. Scratch!
Who's behind the best family food value in town? Perkins. For breakfast, dinner, and everything in between. Perkins. Breakfast, dinner, and everything in between.
How would you like to bond with this 1994 Mustang convertible? I mean, really get to know each other. Build a passionate relationship. If you'd like to know how, just visit the store and apply to win this car. This is a quick card. This is you. This is cash back. This is no annual fee. This is your neighborhood. This is your store. You could win this 94 Mustang, the new quick card. It's a bonding kind of thing.
Now's the time to get a Camry.
If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, cause it's going.
Toyota Camry Coupe at a low $229 monthly lease you can't miss.
If you want it, Anytime I can get
The wait is over. Toyota's clearance is on now. Don't miss your chance to get the Camry deal you want. There's only one Toyota clearance a year. Toyota's nationwide clearance. See your Toyota dealer now.
Halftime here at County Stadium as the Dolphins take an 11-3 lead on this 48-yard field goal by Pete Stoyanovich. Just to quickly recap the scoring, Dan Marino hit Mark Ingram in the first quarter, late in the first quarter, to make it 6-0. The two-point conversion good again to Ingram to make it 8-0. Chris Jackie countered at the 13:26 mark of the second quarter to make it 8-3 on a 23-yard field goal. And then the field goal you just saw was Pete Stojanovich's 48-yarder to make it 11-3. John, the first half offense on Green Bay's part, what do you see?
Well, a mixed bag, Bill. You can see the rushing yards, 17 rushing yards. That's got to be very, very disappointing, especially because they had 150 last year. That's got to be the biggest concern right now for Mike Holmgren. The quarterbacks, however, have played very, very well. Favre, when he was in there, 7 of 9 for 92 yards. Grinnell, 9 of 11 for about 71 yards. So a mixed bag offensively.
Brian, briefly defensively?
Well, I think they have to be somewhat concerned with that opening drive. Dan Marino goes right down the field, puts points on the board. And the thing that I'm concerned with is a lack of anything exciting. Ruffin Hamilton, the only thing that came up big was the quarterback sack. Other than that, they've been pretty methodical out there. They really haven't done anything to really say, hey, boom, we've got the best defensive front in football, and we're going to make some things happen.
11-3 our score. A quick injury update. Ed King has a sprained knee and will not return. We will, however, return from County Stadium in just a few minutes. It's 11-3 Miami over the Pack at the half.
Green Bay Packer preseason football is brought to you by Chevy. See your Chevy super dealers. F&M Bank, over 35 hometown Wisconsin banks. Your local Ford dealers. Stop in and see your dealer today. Hardee's. Visit your nearby Hardee's restaurant. The GMC Truck Professionals. See your dealer now for great year-end clearance values. Carlson Travel Network, your worldwide vacation specialist. Your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Home of the minivan store. Mills Fleet Farm. And by your local Packerland 76 dealers who invite you to go with their spirit of 76.
SLE, you are cleared to land.
Not all the excitement is in the air at the EAA. Right now, your GMC Truck Professionals are offering special down-to-earth prices on the trucks driven at the fly-in. These vehicles have low mileage but can't be sold as new, so you save. Also priced to fly is our entire fleet of 1994 GMC trucks, backed by the strength of experience. We're clearing them out to make space for the fast-approaching 95s. So drop into your local GMC Truck Professional dealer, where the sky's the limit. Algoma Motors, Colin Sorrentino, Fox Valley Truck, Petrosky, Neville Motors, Bergstrom, Van de High Brantmeyer, Holiday. Or see your nearest GMC Truck Professional.
You have clearance to take off.
Because this is the land and sky for GMC.
Nobody covers severe weather like Chief Meteorologist George Krampus and the Storm Center 2 weather team. Storm Alert 2 early warnings let you know about severe weather before it happens. You stay a step ahead of striking storms with exclusive Storm Track 2 radar, a tracking system so accurate it gives the storm an address.
When severe weather threatens, turn to the Storm Center 2 weather team, because we cover severe weather like your life depends on it.
Storm Center 2. It's how we cover severe weather that makes a difference for you.
Join me for the Mike Holmgren Show, Monday at 6:30 on TV2.
This is the Action 2 News Halftime Report.
It is halftime at Milwaukee's County Stadium. The Green Bay Packers are behind 11-3 against the Miami Dolphins. Hello, I'm Jennifer Ryan with your halftime news update. Not far from the stadium at the State Fair in West Dallas, 200 carnival workers are undergoing tests for tuberculosis. One of their co-workers came down with the illness, but no one else has contracted it. Good news for baseball fans who are left holding Brewers tickets. If you miss a game because of the baseball strike, you can get your money back, but only on those game days. If you plan on traveling through De Pere on Broadway, slow down. This is the first weekend the 4-lane expansion project is open, and police are on the lookout for lead feet. The speed limit is 25, but some people have been ticketed for going as fast as 50 miles per hour. Convicted murderer Gerald Turner should know his fate by Christmas. His trial is set to begin December 5th. Turner was convicted of raping and murdering a Fond du Lac girl. His case is noteworthy because it prompted the enactment of the sexual predator law. In national news tonight, Republicans want drastic revisions in the recently blocked crime bill. While they feel the bill's ban on assault weapons should be a separate issue, President Clinton says he is not willing to budge on that part of the bill. It is pretty wet at Woodstock 94, but the music is still drawing the crowds. Promoters say 250,000 people are enjoying that concert in Saugerties, New York. Lisa Luck joins us with a look at the forecast. Not too soggy here, I would imagine.
Not soggy at all. Actually, most of the rain is pretty much pedaled through the state. What we're seeing at this point is the satellite in motion, showing us the cloud cover continuing to pull away from us. Cold front continues to make its way down past Milwaukee now, so we're going to see the winds really churning from the northwest. They'll be breezy at about 10 to 20 miles an hour, so even tomorrow is going to be on the breezy side. And we have the high pressure. You can see it digging its toes in right now over the plains, really starting to chisel away at that cloud cover over northern Wisconsin. So good amount of clearing going on. That means the temperatures tonight chilly. We could even see some 40s north of Green Bay in areas like Oconto and Shawano counties. Here at home and then to the south of us, the temperatures will probably hang on around the 50s. And tomorrow, just the slightest chance of a thunderstorm, but overall, not too bad except for a little bit cool and breezy for Sunday.
Okay, thanks a lot. And that is News Break for now. We will be back with you right after the Packers game. And we have to tell you what's going on here. We've got Miami up by a few points here, 11-3 against Green Bay. We'll see you again right after that game. Enjoy, and go Packers.
And welcome back to County Stadium here in Milwaukee. Bill Jarts bringing you the halftime ceremonies here as we wrap it up on the Midwest Shrine Game, 45th Annual. We have some highlights to bring your way from the 11-3 ball game. Dan Marino started things off and found Mark Ingram, the veteran receiver, on an 11-yard touchdown pass right here. Beautiful floating play over Terrell Buckley, and it was 6-0. Miami opted to go for 2 after this one, and that same combination, Marino and Ingram hooked up. This time a slightly different play, though. The lone setback there was Terry Kirby, a rifle. Worked once again to Ingram to make it 8-0. Then the Packers came back. Brett Favre started things off. Finished up today 7 of 9 for 92 yards. A big one here to Robert Brooks. And Brooks broke it off for a big gain. Brooks, 2 catches, 52 yards in the first half. That led to Chris Jackie's 23-yard field goal, and the Packers were on the board. It was an 8-3 ball game in the second quarter at that point. Defensively, Ruffin Hamilton's name we called on this big play. Kozar going back to pass, and Hamilton just wrapped him up. A nice defensive play, sort of injected a little life into the defense. And then with the clock running down in the first half, Kozar found Irving Fryer with a catch along the near sideline right here. Wisely got the feet down, stopped the clock. 2 seconds to go to set up the field goal. 48 yards by Pete Stoyanovich, one of the best in the business from long distance, from just about anywhere on the field. And that rounded out our first half scoring 11-3. Miami over the Pack here in County Stadium. And right now, let's go down to Brian and John.
Thanks, Jartsy. You know, the Packers probably getting a little bit of a talking to, I would suspect, Brian, from Coach Holmgren. Offensively, only 3 points on the board, even though I thought the quarterbacks played pretty well. But defensively, you mentioned before we went to the break, very little emotion out there.
Well, John, I think the one thing you got to be concerned with is as you watch the halftime highlights, they were all the Miami Dolphins. So that's a little scary. The one play by Ruffin Hamilton, I think the defense needs to pick up the pace here a little bit and make some things happen.
And we should see Mark Brunell start this second half. Ty Detmer will then come in probably late third or maybe in the fourth quarter. What can we look for defensively? Who needs to step up and make a statement here in the second half?
Well, I think some of the younger linebackers are going to have to do something. Ruffin Hamilton is going to get an opportunity to show some things. James Willis is getting an opportunity to play, needs to do something. Fred Strickland, some of these players that they're expecting big things from have got to step forward and make some plays.
Okay, well, we shall see what will happen here in the second half. Bill, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. The Packers trying to even the record in the Midwest Shrine Game. Right now, it's 20-21-3 overall through 44 outings. We're coming back with the second half from County Stadium in a minute.